We're on. PG rated from now on.
2 minutes. Rated.
Tell me something good.
Howdy, sir.
That's good enough. Doing pretty good yourself.
You got a packed agenda tonight, so make it quick. Okay, you're first.
I won't even get up there if you don't want me.
You're the first of looks like about a dozen, so just be quick. We'll start the shot clock.
Abbott stole my glasses, so he had to go get a pair for me.
Did you find your phone?
He had it.
You two.
I swear. Him. You know, I'd have to compete with every one of you guys. You're all on break. Now, you don't
What are you doing, man?
Franks, that's all he does.
Doing pretty good.
Tommy, I've noticed
Boy
recently,
lost
Tommy's
money
been
again.
switching the names around.
Who did?
Nobody messes with my stuff. I like it down here, man.
You better
Every now and then,
have
Chief will
receivers.
sit with me. Nobody else
Oh, what?
bothers me. I get to sit
Chief.
down here by myself.
Lost another 100.
I'm usually stocked up on candy, but utilities cleared me out today.
Told me.
I guess you're right.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Them the ones you took from.
Abbott, Costello, still.
Oh, well.
It is.
I don't know.
What would you do without him taking care of you?
No.
Yeah.
He took, you know what?
they
I
asked
had
for
a
every
pair
bit
in
of it.
there.
He just
for
went
us
to get
do
two
that.
glasses.
When nobody's here.
Don't blame me because you lost
Forget
them.
'em.
You take care of
So
him, don't you, Tony?
Yes, I do.
Here's this.
It's like one of my
sitting in there,
kids.
I know.
And they're gone. And I seen him the other day, going right out with them on his head. Oh,
All right, let's start this December Planning Commission to order. Roll call, please.
Jim Crook,
Here.
Derry Hutcherson,
Here.
Dylan Little,
Here.
Owen Cross,
here.
Brett Bondurant,
Yes, sir.
Lenny Fryman,
Here.
Tony Abbott,
Here.
Attorney Thomas Blondell,
Here.
and myself.
Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes of last week? If so, do we have a motion and or a second to approve them?
So move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. We have a staff report tonight.
Nothing other than what's in your packet.
All right. So, Brian, are you ready to present your
Yeah, I don't know what you got in the
Information.
packet, but I will try to put this in a box for everybody. Thank you for being here, and thanks for having me. On behalf of the Redevelopment Commission, we're in the process of establishing economic development area, roughly US 50 south to the river from the Aurora boundary to Tanner's Creek, and then it creeps up along 50 and picks up the property and the fairgrounds that's being developed, and some properties on the north side of 50. And that's the economic development area. Within that area, we will have allocation areas, and those are the properties that we know of today that there's some interest in development. I think there's 8 or 9 parcels, and the Redevelopment Commission has, we had our declaratory resolution last meeting to establish and to begin the process. The next step in the process is for the Plan Commission to approve the declaratory resolution from the Redevelopment Commission. Then we would go to council. They would adopt a resolution to approve the order of the Plan Commission, and then it would come back to Redevelopment Commission, I believe, on December 20th. Now, the schedule's changed a little bit to adopt the confirmatory resolution. So, in these allocation areas, we would be using the tax increment financing, the TIF tool for collecting those revenues and putting them into the TIF fund to be able to continue to do the work that we've done in attracting business, capital investment, new residents to the community, and creating some more funds for redevelopment to be self-sustaining, and obviously it becomes a finance tool for redevelopment in the future. So that's where we're at.
Remind me, these allocation areas include ongoing projects? Are they undeveloped?
Some are developed, so if, once we adopt this, resolution, and it goes back to January 1st of this year. So for example, Hardee's,
If it's adopted this calendar year?
that's correct.
Okay.
So for example,
Yep.
Hardee's is one of the parcels.
Yep.
So we would be able to pick Hardee's up and be able to collect
Awesome.
TIF
Yeah,
revenues off of
That's
that.
what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Any
Now,
other questions
Brian?
from the board?
Yeah. Brian, does this go all the way down to the river on the other side of the levee? Where we're developing it?
On that side,
On the wet side of the levee, where we're developing that at the end of Walnut?
I believe our current TIF covers that area.
Does
Yeah,
it?
the
Yeah.
2015
Does it
TIF
cover
covers
the water?
that.
You know what? I don't know about the WAD, Tony. To be honest, I don't know.
Our current EDA covers that area, but we'd have to
EDA,
include that in a
yeah.
TIF. But if it's non-taxable, then
It's not, it won't, it's our property, so it won't, excuse me, my shoulder hurts. I just
Well-
twisted it.
That's a good question, Tony. I never.
But how does that work out?
That.
Because we're going to be leasing that property.
I mean, if we can capitalize on it, we'll make it an allocation area and certainly do that.
That's something we might want to look
Yeah.
into.
Any other questions from the board?
I have a question for Mr. Blondell. Shouldn't we have received a fiscal impact statement for this?
I don't know if one was performed. I presume so.
I was going to say, because in order for us to make a decision, I feel like, from my understanding, we're supposed to have a fiscal impact statement from the people that I've spoke to about this outside of this. We're supposed to have a fiscal impact statement kind of laying out for us what this entails, especially moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
Yeah,
that's
we've-
a requirement or not.
We- We prepared and provided that information to our financial advisor to prepare the tax impact study.
Did we have anyone else look at it? Lawyer firm, attorney firm?
Dell's been working with Reedy Financial.
I would say that if it was required, they would have told us it was required.
It's,
I just think.
I think that if it was required and we didn't have it, it wouldn't have been presented.
Right.
I mean, that's my opinion.
I just think it helps the board kind of ascertain the impact that this is going to have, especially moving forward. That's where one of my biggest questions come from.
Well, the impact is,
More dollars.
I'm all for TIF area. I'm completely for TIF area. And the school has finally changed their mind. They're all for TIF areas and stuff. They're collecting nothing, and we're able to build something there, and then in the future they will collect. So,
Well, I actually spoke with Carl Gailey on Monday, and I mean, his stance isn't that he is for it, but he also understands that the city provides $300,000 for textbook expenses. So with that being said, I mean, it's also, the whole point of a TIF district is to use the money to develop the property for future development. But if there's already development going on, then the school is actually going to end up missing out on that money because it's coming back to the TIF
see,
fund.
that's a misnomer. There's going to be a meeting coming for about TIF, and you need to come to it.
Well-
It's not, that's a misnomer. They're not missing out on money. They're going to be collecting their money. It takes time for them to collect money, but it's in areas where they're collecting none already. This
Well,
way they
here's-
can collect it.
My understanding is that they'll get the same amount of money that they're currently getting, but they're not going to capture any of that money from the development. So obviously with us having Hardee's developed, as well as other properties, so Tri-State Liquid Waste is another one that's included in there.
That's correct.
Another one is the storage units that are
But
coming in.
how much money were they collecting from Hardee's before it was built?
Well,
See,
they
that's what you gotta look at. There's nothing there, so they're not collecting no money or just a small amount. Now we build something on it with TIF, in the future, they're gonna get more money.
Well, this isn't TIF
Exactly.
yet. That's what we're talking about tonight, is that this would be implemented into the TIF.
Right.
So that now at this point, they're gonna keep getting the amount of money from when nothing was there, and they're not getting anything from Hardee's being built until 25 years unless we change the TIF or something of the sort. That's where my concern comes from, is there, because they're getting the amount of dollars from when nothing was there, not when Hardee's was developed.
Right, but without TIF, it's gonna be nothing there for the next 25 years.
It was
That's what
developed
TIF is
without
for.
TIF. That, because it was already developed without TIF. My
Well, you're talking
understanding-
about one property. I'm talking about all of our properties. Without TIF, there's a lot of things that wouldn't be in Lawrenceburg right now.
And I agree in some instances. I'm just saying that the areas that have already been, I'm saying the areas that have already been developed and are not in TIF, they're technically should not be implemented into the TIF. It is for expanding broadband or roads or whatever, that redevelopment would put forth that money, but it's already been put forth privately by another company or privately owned or something. That's just, I mean, I found that in several different reports. That's from Guy and Merriman, as well as Higgs, Folks, and Corinne. These are reports that were done by Purdue, Ball State University, a bunch of different things. I would be happy to share it with you. I worry because I have a lot of questions because we don't have a fiscal impact statement. I want to know what's going forth rather than just saying, obviously TIF helps. I won't disagree with you. It helps with development and other things. But there's also other impacts to other entities that come out of a TIF.
We've heard your concerns. So are there any other questions from the audience or the board?
Give me one question real quick. Would you by chance know this? Has Lawrenceburg school corporations had any transportation waivers in the last 5 years?
I don't know that.
I know that is actually a state, that's a state statute, that if there has been any transportation waivers in the last 5 years, then technically you should not have a TIF.
You're saying that's based upon Indiana statute, or is that,
In this report, it goes through all kind of policy considerations and
what
different.
statute is that reference?
I'm not sure. This
Say,
is quick.
I don't believe in any reports, Dylan. I mean, you can read a report says one thing, read another report says another thing. You gotta go by the statutes. And I don't think that we would be doing a TIF area if it was illegal. I mean, we pay some high-priced Indianapolis lawyers to make sure that our TIF is right, and we do it right.
Right. So moving right along, do we have a motion to accept or deny the redevelopment resolution?
May I have one more question? Are there any bonds that are being put forth?
No.
With the new TIF, or is this just money going straight back to redevelopment?
Money going to redevelopment.
Okay.
Once again, moving forward, do we have a motion to accept or deny the redevelopment resolution and/or a second?
Are we forwarding this to someone, Ms. Moore?
Yeah, this goes to, back to
Goes back to redevelopment.
council.
I think either.
Council
well,
first.
I think it goes, doesn't it, I think it leaves here, council back to redevelopment.
Back to redevelopment for final
Approval.
approval, yeah.
Are we able to make a motion to table so that we are able to get more information about this, or is?
You can make any motion you want.
I would like to make a motion to table personally. I would just like to have more information. I'm not saying I'm against it or anything like that. I would just like to be able to have more information. If we need to call a special meeting, I'd be happy to do something like that where we're able to vote to send it forward with a recommendation, but
Well, you're just one person, so once again, do we have a motion to accept or deny the redevelopment resolution?
Was there a second for his motion?
yeah, I made a
Well, he
motion.
hasn't made a motion. He hasn't called for a motion yet. Your president's got to call for
I
a
just
motion.
No, he called for a motion.
I just,
Yeah, the president called for a motion,
Right.
so Dylan can't call for a motion himself, is what I'm saying.
Am I not able to make a motion for,
Did someone second the motion?
That's what I was asking.
If
Well, they've been-
someone seconded it,
did you make the motion?
No,
I made the motion. Would anybody be willing to second a motion on tabling this till we get a fiscal impact statement?
Motion denied. Moving right along. Once again, do we have a motion and/or a second to accept the redevelopment resolution?
I would make that motion.
And a second? Owen,
Second, yeah.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved.
Don't you have to do a roll call?
You gotta do a roll call.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Okay, and Mr. Cook doesn't vote, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Gary Hutcherson?
What?
Roll call vote, sorry.
Eric?
Dylan Little?
No.
Owen Cross?
Yes.
Brett Bondurant?
Yeah.
Lenny Fryman?
Yes.
Tony Abbott?
Aye.
1 nay.
Motion accepted. Do we have any old business tonight?
I have none.
Do we have a motion for adjournment and or second?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion adjourned.
Okay, can I get signatures on that? please,
Yeah,
if
we
I
need
take off?
signatures on this.
Only if I get my check for last month.
Thank you,
I
gentlemen.
get my check for last month.
Yes.
I was on city business.
Run off. I told Brett. No.
I want my glasses back, Lenny.
You just told me it was a Christmas present.
Well,
Would you make up your mind?